Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming Podcast.
Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig. I'm sweating like a pig.
So, still David, still One Up Gaming, still episode 391. This is the X-Men special. So, if you like X-Men, then you will hopefully enjoy this show. I've played a shit ton of X-Men games. The 10 Minutes of Nothing, I'm going to be talking about the XMen 97 series coming soon. Or when this comes out. It might already be on, I can't remember when I've got the date. But anyway, 391, One Up Gaming. So we'll go through the games we played this week. So there's about 12 games this week, so please bear with us. So the first games, I'm not going to go in any kind of order, but the first games were on the Mega Drive, so on the Sega Genesis for other horrible people in America. You know, call it a Mega Drive. Why not call it a Mega Drive? It's great. And that was the X-Men game, and that's the side-scrolling 2D platformer. And I remember having the Mega Drive and having this game back when I was a kid. I guess it's about 30 years ago now, just about 30 years ago. And it was amazing then, and going back to it now, it's a bit janky, the platforming's a bit janky, but it still looks amazing. I love the graphics. I love the fact that you can be Gambit, and Gambit looks mint. And X-Men 2, the Clone War, well, not the Clone Wars, just Clone Wars, and again on the Mega Drive on the Genesis. And this one, I've never really played, because I don't think it actually officially came out in England. It came out in America, where it was like a Genesis sort of game in 96, I think it was, 95, 96. So like the Saturn was already out, and it was just not, it just didn't come out over here, I don't think. I might be wrong. It's weird though, because you turn the game on and it like boots straight into the platforming action. Then you complete the first sort of stage, and then it cuts into the Sega logo and then the start game and that kind of stuff. And it's good. It really is good. It's almost identical to how the original game plays. They've just got the graphics up the next level, and it just looks so nice. It's beautiful to look at. It's great to play. So the next games were on the PlayStation 2. And that was XMen Legends and XMen Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse. So the first one was quite I don't want to say a budget game, but it was quite a low-key sort of release when it first came out. It looked nice when it first came out, but I just felt as though it was going for more of the Diablo style sort of game. Not the top-down 3D RPG sort of thing. And I just felt as though using your powers drained your energy and all this kind of stuff. And it was just too much to take in for a feeble little brain like mine. And yeah, on the gameplay that I'm playing, I got stuck into a little corner and I couldn't get out, so I just turned it off. So the next game was XMen Legends 2. Where I don't know what happened at the end of the first game, or I don't know if it's a continuation to that, but it looks as though like the Magneto and his sort of like the evil mutants, I can't remember, Brotherhood of Mutants, I think are they called? I can't remember now. But them team up with the X-Men to free Charles Xavier, and then they join forces to defeat Apocalypse, and it's seems a good story so far that I've played, but again, it's the exact same sort of engine, so it plays very similar. I did notice as well that on the PS2, with full 4 men in your party running around destroying things, the frame rate bloody chugs like hell. You can't believe how slow this game that pops into existence. But yeah, a good style of games. I think it works well with the multi-team sort of like emphasis of that. So that's good. Next up we have SpiderMan and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. So this game, again, I had on the Mega Drive, Genesis, when I was a kid. I played the Super Nintendo version, the SNES, and I really liked this game. I loved it as a kid. I'm an idiot boy. I'm an absolute idiot. But I really, really, really enjoyed it when I was a kid. Going back to it now, graphically, it's got a good style. It looks weird. It's nowhere near as good as like the Mega Drive sort of games. The proper X-Men sort of games on the Mega Drive. But it has its own art style. It looks colourful and chunky. I just feel as though the web swinging's not very good for Spider-Man, and the jumping and the platforming is not the best. So for a platform game from the early, was it 93, 92, that sort of time, I still enjoyed it. I really, really did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun little game. So yeah, it gets really bad reviews now. I think is it Flying Edge that did the game? I can't remember now. But it gets really bad press now. But I love it. I still love the game even now. First level, it's like you have to collect all the little shining pods, but they're in a certain order, and you have to backtrack all over looking for the correct order of the pods. But it's a way to lengthen the game, and when you get into the X-Men sort of stages, flipping hell, I nearly said fucking hell, but flipping hell, that is so hard. Everything just feels so against you to kill you. But I really love the game, so yeah, I think it's a fun little game. So next up we have X-Men, the official game. Now this came out for like PS2, GameCube, Xbox 360, I think it came out for as well. I've played it before on the 360. I've never played it on the PS2, but I had a quick go on the PS2. It's very similar sort of game. I actually really enjoyed the Iceman stages where you imagine like the Star Wing. Sorry, I'm English. For you American people, Lilac Wars or Star Fox, I think it was called. Where you're controlling like the Iceman character, and you can actually go up and down the screen like and shoot like a flying shooter, but you're on these little ice slide. And then you have the Wolverine stages where it's just like a hack and slash beat 'em up, and the Nightcrawler stages where it's a much more puzzle platformer style where you can like teleport and stuff. I thought it was a really good little game. I think that the just didn't have enough money into it, and I think that it was rushed at the end, and it just didn't feel fully fledged. But I did enjoy the game when I played it originally. So of course, next up we have X2, Wolverine's Revenge. Now this is like the sequel of the game, and I will say that it focuses just on Wolverine this time, which of course it does, because when the movies came out and stuff, everyone just went apeshit over Wolverine, and they just thought, well, we'll just slap Wolverine's face on everything, and we'll see how well things do about that. But yeah, it technically looks better. You know, graphically it looks more 3D, more like filled out and lush, but the controls just don't seem as good, and the camera options are a bit more janky. You know, you have full control over your camera on this one, and it just feels so janky. So then moving on, we have X-Men Reign of Apocalypse. And I believe, because I'm an idiot, I didn't write this down, I believe this one was on the Game Boy Advance. So imagine like the original X-Men arcade game. I don't know why I didn't play that, but the original X-Men arcade game, but like a little bit more graphically advanced. Imagine that sort of game, a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, and that is what you've got. It's a nice game. It plays well. It's just a bit slow, you know, but it's good. And we also have X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, and I believe this is the game on the Super Nintendo, on the SNES. And this one is more in style to the Genesis Mega Drive X-Men games, 2D side-scrolling puzzle platformers, but these ones were made by Capcom, and they are really nice. I've never played that one before, but I was really shocked at how good that was. It looks nice, it plays nice, but I think it's just I've got that love of the old X-Men game in my heart from the Mega Drive. So, but yeah, Capcom have done the X-Men proud on the console there. And then I had a quick go at some of the old sort of like shooters, some of the old 2D, 3D beat 'em ups. So first of all, we have X-Men Children of the Atom. Couldn't get the Saturn to link up and play nice, so I played it on the PlayStation, where it's a lot more janky, a lot more stuttery, but it still plays really well and it looks nice. And as a 2D beat 'em up, I really loved it. It was just a little bit too fast and a little bit over the top when you're jumping around and stuff. Nothing like the Capcom vs Marvel vs Capcom and those sort of games, because they just go crazily fast. But yeah, Children of the Atom, really nice game. Then we played X-Men Mutant Academy 2 on the PlayStation 1. And this one is a one-on-one fighter with a polygonal sort of engine made by Paradox. I always used to joke and say that they look like a Paradox. But Paradox Entertainment, I think it was Entertainment, I can't remember. They had a nice engine. But wasn't Paradox the ones who did that Thrill Kill that got banned? And then they reused the engine to make the Wu-Tang game that no one talks about. Might be wrong. Might not be Paradox. It might be a P game though. I can't remember. Anyway, X-Men Mutant Academy 2. It's got so many hidden secrets, so many hidden characters, loads of comic covers and pictures and sound effects and videos and clips and all sorts. It's just the gameplay is not the best and it's a bit janky. Graphically, for a PS1 game, it looks nice. It's just not the best. But yeah, X-Men Mutant Academy 2, if you have a PS1, give it a go. See what you think. It's not bad. And finally, we have X-Men Next Dimension. And we played this on the PS2. But I think it was out on like the Xbox and the GameCube as well. And this is, again, made by Paradox. So it's a continuation of the Mutant Academy 2. So I think this looked a lot better and it felt a bit more snappy in the gameplay department. So I think they were getting better as they were going along, and I think this was one of the last sort of like games in the franchise that they did. But yeah, so episode 391, the One Up Gaming Podcast, the X-Men special. I would say, in all honesty, my personal favourite game that we played this week, I would have to say, was the Mega Drive Genesis version of X-Men 2 Clone Wars. It played as well and looked amazing as of the original X-Men game, but because I've not played it before, it just had the wow factor of like something new, something amazing. So I will say X-Men 2 Clone Wars, great game. And the two runners-up is SpiderMan and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I love that game. I don't know why. And probably X-Men Mutant Apocalypse on the SNES. So if you want to get into some X-Men stuff, give these a quick go, see what you think, and we'll be back with the 10 minutes of nothing after this quick break. Please subscribe, like, share, bell, all that good stuff, and we'll be back in a minute.